Hey guys, welcome on back to the AnKorage where everything is awesome and I have something to say. So why don't we see that on today's edition of VlogQuest? Hey, welcome on back. It's been a little bit since the last VlogQuest, so it came about time to do another, and I got a couple of things that came up that be good for video content, I suppose. It was a little while back with the condo complex. I was asked to do essentially some IT-like work. They had just gotten a new computer, and my good friend Freya, a former coworker and also a trainee of mine from our previous work, the company that I used to work for, actually, years ago. Like, we're coming up on close to 20 years-ish, roughly. I've known her for just as long, so around the same time. And she is the office manager for it. And when they were getting a new computer, somehow my name came up. I don't know the particular story inside. I wasn't going to go prying for details. But she asked me, she texted me and asked me if I'd be interested in setting up their new computer. And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? It is Windows, you know, being a Linux guy myself, but yeah, it's Windows, so, you know, it's easy for the most part. So I said, yeah, sure, I'd be happy to help. So I went in and I helped set up this new computer. It happens to be a NUC, which is NUC, or Next Unit Computing. And, you know, it's all about that big, you know, it's little. And it's got an SSD in there, yeah, as a for you know, a home drive, your C drive, the OS drive, and it has a slot in it for an extra drive that you can store your data. And I happen to have a hard drive that's a mechanical that actually spins to host that data so that it doesn't disappear should the OS drive decide to poop the bed. So just waiting for approval to get that to, you know, for me to be able to put that in. Because the guy doesn't fully understand it, but in either sense, I'll have to show him the thing and, you know, details. But so I went in and so I was just looking at the Matrix Matrix chat on my Linux box. I've got it on my second screen, and yes, it's from Switch to Linux. He just posted something that says Twitter thinks it's NSFW, and there's something that's going to be popping up. So it's either going to be a video or an image. It's possible it's an image, possibly maybe even a video. Because it's taking a while, and he might not have good signal right now for his internet connection. So I'll keep an eye on that, stuff like that. But back to the computer for the office. They you know, I went in and I got it all set up, and what I also had here, I also have I've got it back, but it's a KVM switch, meaning KV and M, keyboard, video, mouse. And to put that between the old computer and the new computer, so they could still switch between the two, and to make it a little easier to be able to pull the data over from the old machine to the new machine, I bought them a USB stick so they could just plug in and plug back and forth, rather than setting up you know, network connections. There is a network in there, but it's very minuscule. I don't know the details of it. I'm not going to go messing with it. So I just went for the easiest route and the cheapest route that I could find. I could have set it up between the two machines for file sharing, but I haven't done that all that much between two two different Windows computers. Not extensively. I can a little bit, but nothing major. But I just did the easiest thing. I spent like $3.50 for this USB stick because the files are really small, and she could just take them all, throw them all onto the stick, and then move the stick over, and then put them all on that computer. Boom, done. So, and then to have that stick for whatever else they might need. So there we go. And then, I got that all set up and everything like that. I even helped them with their printer on a couple of things. So it went for a while. And, a while later on, Freya called, he texted me and says, "Hey, can you come in?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So I show up, and she hands me a card, kind of like a greeting card, in an envelope, and I open it up, and it's full of thanks from all the board members, and I have it on display right over there, and it's them saying thank you, and they appreciate all of my effort and everything like that. And then Freya digs into the desk and pulls out something extra. And she hands it to me, and I open it up, and it's an Amazon gift card. And I was floored. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this totally wasn't necessary. I did this for the fun of it. And because I do have PC knowledge, and knowledge regarding PCs and setting them up, Windows, Linux, everything like that. The Linux desktop, not the hardcore Red Hat garbage or Solaris and all that jazz. I'm not big on command line, although I am not afraid to use it. Everybody's scared of that thing, but in either sense, I'm like, it's totally not necessary. You really shouldn't have done that. They're like, "Hey, we wanted to thank you and show you our appreciation, so here you go." And I don't know if she said that specifically, but I know that's what she was meaning. So I'm like, "Thank you very much. I appreciate it." And just before that all happened, what was it? I was in there just taking care of something small just to say hi for one. And it was her and another events committee member that was in there, and they were working on that, and I was helping out with a little thing in Windows, regarding the new setup, and got done with that. And they were talking about how they want to have a movie night, events committee. There you go. Come up with things to do. And they want to do like a movie day, movie night kind of thing for the kids and for the adults. So the kids during the day, adults during the night, and of course, the temperatures outside were still warm in the evening. And this is like a month ago. And so they were telling me, like, "Yeah, we know this person has a projector and blah blah blah, and this other person might have a speaker or something." I can't remember the particular details. But how the conversation went in general, I remember my inclusion in the conversation was, "You need a projectionist, yes?" I was like, "Yeah." And of course, it just shot me back to 5th grade because I ended up being the class projectionist, and I carried that knowledge through junior high and high school, and I was projectionist for whatever, events or, classy type stuff, presentations in class using 16 millimeter film, reel to reel film. And the projectors involved, they got, all the gearing and the sprockets and all that. And so my thoughts shot straight to that and everything like that. And I'm like, well, I could do it. And, because I know that today's projectors are, they're LCD and they're run through a computer, very easy to do. So I'm like, yeah, I could do that. If, just, if we provide the parts, heck, I could do it. And then next thing you know, this thing happens with this gift card. And so I'm like, you know, I do this for fun and just to be a help to the community. And I don't expect any pay necessarily. I mean, I certainly appreciate it, but you know, that's not the point of me doing it. I do it because I find it interesting. I find it fun to do, and there you go. And so I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this gift card? Okay, well, they paid for it, obviously. So the thought hit me, why don't I feed it back in to help the complex a little bit? So I went ahead and I bought this. This guy. That off. I bought a projector. And it's small, it's inexpensive, and it does a really good job. And I've used these before, but not this size. The size that I've used was like, you know, if I can bring that in here, bring this, you know, like, you know, the large ones, you know, the corporate ones. Freya would remember the ones that we used at our old office, you know, because they're mounted to the ceilings, and we had these big honking pull-down screens, and we'd use that. And of course, we had other ones that were even larger, and they were on motors, so they would motorize, drop down and drop up. I've used those. They operate just the same, but this thing's little. I mean, look at this thing. It's small. And this thing can project out like 200 inches. This thing could, you know, and it goes corner to corner. It was, you know, screen size 200 inches, which is like, you know, it equates out to about like 16 feet, I guess. I can't remember. But, so, that aside. So I went ahead and I bought it so that I could be projectionist for showing a movie or what have you to the kids and to the adults. And you know, I was thinking about it, and you know, I've had it for a couple of weeks now. I've tested it. It worked great. This thing can project forward projection and rear projection, and of course, you know, flip it over, you know, upside down. I don't know. It can't do sideways or diagonal, although, if, you know, when adjusting it, it can kind of go, you know, it can go this way, that way for adjusting. But you won't need it for that. But, you know, it made me think, and we're coming up to autumn, and it begins in a couple of weeks, and it goes until December 21st. But of course, you know, it's getting colder at night. It's been cold at night for the past few weeks, and you know, they were talking about like having something outdoors for the kids during the day, and then something for the adults outdoors at night. Nights are getting cold. I'm not so sure that would be I can't say smart idea, but I don't think it would be necessarily a good idea. Might be better to have it inside. So I also bought a screen. And it's in this thing. It's folded up, and it's 120 inches. So trying to think about the outdoor and the indoor use. You know, it's like, do I want to be able to project on 200 inches? Yeah, why not? But, you know, when you look at the practicality of it, you know, can't do 200 inches inside the clubhouse here. Don't have the space for that. Plus, you know, there's furniture and stuff like that in the way. It's nice, but it's big and heavy, and it would be too much of a pain to move around the way I would need it. So I wanted something that was still fairly large. Excuse me. Still fairly large, but small enough to be able to stand up in the clubhouse using a frame. So that screen has a frame, and got that. You know, it's not costly. It costs less than the projector, but this one not by much, about $10 less. The projector was essentially $80, $79.99 specifically. So, as Hasbro would say, under $80 by a penny. $80. So, and the screen was 69, 64, or 69. So basically $70. So there we are. And so I got that. So I got those two things. And I also bought a little something extra for myself, from that gift card. So that gift card value is gone. And, but I've got those parts. I've got the projector, and I've got that screen that I can use for presenting something for the complex. And so for some of it, we might want to, I say we like I'm part of them, I'm really not, but they might want to wait until, for the sake of the adults, if they're going to do something outdoors for showing on this thing, might be better to either get it done really quick or wait until next summer, end of spring, summer, then that region. Otherwise, I'm gonna set up in the clubhouse for the adults. That would work out just fine. I think that would be better, considering the temperatures at night right now, as we're coming up on fall. And because we're coming up on fall, the Hasbro Haslab 2 in the Box PKE meter and Ghost Trap funding campaign for Hasbro Pulse is expected to be delivered by the end of fall. The end of fall is December 20th, because it's your 21st, depending on which day you prefer to go on to. I usually prefer the 21st, but it's the 20th, and it's solstice, so that's an important day. It'll be the shortest day of the year. And then for the Norse, because they're very northern, north, Norse means north. Hello. And that's from the Old Norse language. Or is it Nordra? I can't remember specifically, but either sounds. Never mind. It's the shortest day of the year, and for them, it's like, it's like nighttime most of the day, most of the day. This is, there's some sun, but, it doesn't come out for all that long, and then it goes back down. It's the shortest day of the year, and then the sun starts returning after that. So, and of course, we'll be on standard time here because reasons, which I don't agree with. We should just stay on daylight savings year round. It's easier. And yeah. So, but back to Haslab. The 2 in the Box funding campaign is for that Ghost Trap and for a PKE meter. Those are, they've rebuilt these things using scans of the original props. So when we see these things, we're basically looking at the prop. The source of it is the actual props. These are just, fresh creations through everything that Hasbro did in order to come out with these things. I mean, look at this thing right here. It's the Proton Pack. That is scanned from the actual prop that was used by McKenna Grace in Ghostbusters Afterlife. And we're going to get the same quality and detail in this next Haslab that we did that time. And that's for the Ghost Trap and for the PKE meter. So there's 2 items, and it goes right along with Ghostbusters 2, which they make fun of a little bit. The thing, two in the box, ready to go. You be fast, they be slow, whatever. That's the phrase in there. So keep an eye out for that. So we got 2 items, and the box is about yay big, to put both of them in there, and that's pretty cool. And we can expect these things by the end of fall, which is December 20th, as we're going into winter. So basically the day before. We'll have them all by the day before. So, but autumn actually begins in a couple of weeks. When we hit the 20th for the equinox. And and then as far as the daylight goes, it just goes downhill from there until we hit the solstice. And of course, going on a standard time, which is I don't like very much, but neither sucks. But yeah, so we're doing that, and so we get those, and if you go back to my previous Buster Quest videos, it's a playlist on definitely on YouTube, and there's definitely one on Odyssey. Rumble, there doesn't appear to be any way to have playlists. So there's nothing on Rumble out there, but there is on Odyssey, and I can't remember just how far back I went before I started posting all my videos into playlists on Odyssey. So it may be there, but definitely out on YouTube, because that's my first place I post. And so if you go back, you can get all of my notes, all of my expectations and desires, and my thoughts and stuff like that, including my prophecy regarding on when we're actually going to be receiving our 2-in-the-box ghost trap and PKE meter. I'm not going to say what that prophecy is here, but you can just go to that playlist and watch my videos, because I talk about a lot of details regarding the individual items and about the project as a whole. And it's worth a watch. So make sure you comment, like, and subscribe so that you can see more of these fantastic things, because that's pretty much the end of this video. That's really all I've got to say. Just got those two things going on: the projector, the screen, and the 2-in-the-box. So there we go. And yeah, so I asked Freya earlier, "Hey, you want to do a cameo in one of my videos?" And she was like, "Maybe," or something to that effect, but not today. She's like, "I can't do that today," or "I can't come over today." I'm like, "That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna push you." Oh, so you do when you do, and I'll show you the keychain you got me in Hawaii, and I'll show you where I've got the card that you guys all signed and gave me for doing that IT work. And I've got another joke I've got up here. I've got my iCan 2 that I've got, because we got my iCan, and of course iCan 2. Yeah, iCan 2 is up on the top shelf. And as a joke, I wrote the word hopes on it, and I put it up on the shelf. The shelf is high hopes. Just bashing on myself a little bit and doing it in a funny way, because I'm funny. It's not Tuesday, but I'm funny, and there you go. So, and there's a lot of truth to that. Trade secrets. So either way. So there we go. That is this edition of Vlog Quest. So thank you very much. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we will be seeing you in the future. So come on back for more fantastic videos. And I'm going to do my thing. And there we are. So, Skál and drink to victory.